Livewire with Phil Ray.
I'm not what you'd call a boffin. Don't put me near a machine. I'd rather spend a day locked in a coffin than 1 hour staring at a screen. But I gave in to friends' persuasions and bought my own PC. First the manual I read from A to Z, and here's what has stuck with me. You scroll the screen and search the set and sort the list and surf the net and send the key and set the interface. Divide the cell, display the style, delete the word, destroy the file, decode the date, debug the database. You clutch the mouse and click the site and clean the drive and clear the byte and clip the art and close the message thread. Indent the line, invert the plug, encode the time, insert the bug, enhance the font, inspect the cleaning head. Oh. I still found it all plain sailing till I tried to turn it on. Tears and prayers were unavailing. My short-lived confidence was gone. At last I got it up and running, but my troubles trebled in a trice. So the helpline I rang and spoke to a man who gave me this sound advice. Divide the cell, display the star, delete the word, destroy the file, decode the date, debug the database. Then scroll the screen and search the set and sort the list and surf the net and send a key and set the interface. Indent the line, invert the plug, encode the time, insert the bug, enhance the font, inspect the cleaning head. Then clutch the mouse and click the site and clean the drive and clear the byte and clip the art and close the message thread. I battled on but couldn't learn it, my ego taking nasty knocks. So I decided to return it, but couldn't fit it back into the box. I ran with it along the high street like a lucky thief. Back in the store, the salesman I saw tried to provide relief. You scroll the screen and search the set and sort the list and surf the net and send the key and set the interface. Divide the cell, display the style, delete the word, destroy the file, decode the date, debug the database. You clutch the mouse and click the site and clean the drive and clear the byte and clip the art and close the message thread. Indent the line, invert the plug, encode the time, insert the bug, enhance the font, inspect the cleaning head. So I left the shop and swore that I'd avoid computers till I died and stick to pen and paper instead.
So today I welcome musical theatre composer, lyricist and broadcaster Alexander Bermange. Hi Alexander.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm alright, thank you very much.
Great stuff. So your work has branched into so many different areas, but first of all, what inspired you to be involved with the arts?
Well, I was classically trained as a pianist, and it was my parents who really sat me down at the piano and made me learn all the scales and learn all the classical pieces. But as soon as I sat down at the piano, I really wanted to write my own music in addition to doing what my piano teachers would teach me. And around about the same time, my parents also started to take me to the theatre to see musicals like Cats and Starlight Express. And it was really when they took me to see Chess in the West End, aged 9, that I just thought that was absolutely amazing. It certainly clicked with me. It sparked some kind of passion for the arts, for musical theatre, and really that was the show that changed my life.
And what is it you love about musicals?
What do I love about musicals? I suppose it's just a heightened sense of reality. I think they just offer sublime entertainment while being able to tackle some very serious themes often. I mean, for example, what I loved about Chess, which, as I said, was the show that changed my life, was that on one level it had this fantastic score that was full of hit songs, but on another level was very, very complicated and complex and dealt with issues such as human relationships and the Cold War. And I've always liked forms of entertainment that could entertain both with their heart and their brain. and just musicals seem to be a great way of experiencing that, both as an observer and as a writer.
And there's a great connection there because you've got both the music and the actions on stage working together to create an emotional piece. Isn't that right?
Yes, absolutely. And they're all as important as each other. The music, which is sweeping you away and carries a lot of the emotional weight, the lyrics, which of course are all about the storytelling and the character, and of course the book, as it's called, the storyline, the characters that just take us into another world, be it historical or fictional.
You've also wrote so many comic songs for radio and stage. How did the ideas come about for these then?
Well, when I finished at college, my first jobs were as an accompanist to various musical theatre stars who would do their solo concerts and cabarets, and they'd often perform a number of songs from the stage, and they'd perform comic songs, songs by the likes of Tom Lehrer or Victoria Wood, and they would often lament the fact that there was no one writing those kind of songs about contemporary issues, like the problems with computers, like the problems with automated telephone answering systems. And so really that was the thing that gave me the idea, and I just wrote more and more comic songs as they came into my mind. And soon they came to the attention of Radio 4 and the World Service, and in the past few years they've been commissioning me to write comic songs for some of their programs about more specific topical issues, be they the general election or a cabinet reshuffle, or about someone who's been in the news, which most recently was Rupert Murdoch with his appearance at the Leveson Inquiry, but in the past has also ranged from Peter Mandelson and Gordon Brown.
Oh, right. And it's that down-to-earth approach and the way it can be sort of put in a comical sense that people like, isn't it?
Yes, I think they like having something that they can relate to, whether it is a subject or a person who's been in the news recently, or whether it's just something which takes an element of reality and just distorts it. So, for example, one of the songs that I've written has really dealt with the problems of a teenage girl being dumped, but it has a twist to it, because this one's called He Left Me for My Granny. Or there's another song I've written which has proved quite popular called I've Fallen in Love with a Sheep. So what I try to do is take something and then just twist it into an unexpected way that gives the comic effect.
And it must be quite fun to be able to relate this with your musical work as well. It must work together quite well.
Yes, often it does. I mean, I've written about 17 musicals, I think. I'm not quite sure. It's hard to keep track of them all. Some of them are quite comedic, but some of them are actually very serious. A lot of the musicals I've written, which I've been fondest of, have actually been the very serious ones. So for the light-hearted ones, the comedy definitely adds to them. But when I've been working on a serious show, then certainly writing comic songs comes as a bit of a relief and release. So
how do the ideas come about? When do you, or where do you sit to write your songs? Or maybe you don't even sit somewhere and write them. Maybe you think about them out and about.
A lot of the ideas for the comic songs just come to me almost when I'm least expecting it. I could be on the train or jogging or something like that. Or indeed sometimes if I know that I want to write a certain kind of song, I'll just sit and brainstorm. I'll write all the music at my piano, and a lot of the lyrics I'll write in cafes, actually. I find that a much easier place to write in than at home. I don't have the distractions. I don't have the opportunity to go off and do something. There isn't the phone that might be ringing. There isn't the doorbell. And so the music, I mean, I'd gladly take my piano with me to the local cafe, but I'm not sure they'd take too kindly to it. But the lyrics now increasingly I write not at home.
Okay, and what musicals have you worked on in the past? Can you name a few?
Oh, my word. Well, there are about 17. The two that I've been working on most recently have been one called 13 Days, which is an example of a very serious piece. It's set against the backdrop of the Cuban Missile Crisis, which took place almost exactly 50 years ago and remains the closest the world has ever come to being wiped out by nuclear war. Right. It was a subject that's always fascinated me, It's recently been done in concert form in Sheffield, and it's coming to London this autumn, and I'm very excited about that. The other piece that I've been developing most recently is, by way of complete contrast, just a very small-scale show. It's a three-hander called The Route to Happiness, which deals with three people in present-day London, and they are in pursuit of their respective dreams, and their experiences interweave and interlink at various points. But in the past, I've written all kinds of shows. Certainly in Europe, I'm best known for writing dark versions of fairy tales, because I've written, I think, 7 or 8 versions of Brothers Grimm tales, which really go back to the originals, which are quite dark, which are designed to appeal to adults as much as to children. And they've been done quite a lot in Germany and Switzerland, and in fact in Russia. Some of the musicals of mine that have been on in off-West End venues have included a piece that tells the dark story about Swan Lake, which was called A Debt, and also a version of Aladdin for the computer age. And I've also written music and songs for plays. These have included, for example, Plague Over England, which had a successful run in the West End, and Murder on Air, which Bill Kenwright is always sending out on tour and has done for the last 5 years or so.
Gosh, and there's a load of genres there, isn't there? It spans quite a lot.
Well, I enjoy doing that, to be totally honest. I try, certainly with musicals, or indeed with anything I write, to really have a very clear idea of the style I'm going to write in before I actually sit down and put pen to paper, or indeed fingers to piano keys. I don't want to just end up writing loads of shows and loads of songs that all sound the same. Yeah. So more and more there is a reason for the styles in which I choose to write. For example, one of the big fairy tales that I did in Germany and Russia was a rock pop version of I get confused between them all. It's Snow White. That was the one. That's the one. Rock pop version of Snow White. And my influences for that were very much Lady Gaga, Kings of Leon, Black Eyed Peas. So I listened to a lot of that kind of music, and then tried to write something that fitted that style but was also wholly original. And I do that for any piece I write, whether it's rock pop, whether it's a 1930s style score that they want, as they did for Murder on Air, which I mentioned just now, or anything in between.
Got you. And you've got a compilation which is out now called Weird and Wonderful. What's this all about?
Well, Weird and Wonderful is billed as a collection of songs celebrating weirdos and weirdness. And I'm often attracted to the unusual, be it unusual kinds of individual or just strange types of situation that we find ourselves in. So, as I mentioned, there are tracks on it called He Left Me for My Granny, or I've Fallen in Love with a Sheep. There's also a song about a train spotter who's a train spotter on the London Underground. So we learn both about his lifestyles and rather bizarre passions, and we also get the names of all the tube stations in London rattled off, all rhyming and scanning. There's songs about the frustrations that can be caused by computers and automated telephone answering systems. There's a song that's really the confessions of the world's worst singer. It's really unlike a lot of material that's out there in that you really can just sit down, enjoy it, and, well, judging from the reaction I've had so far, be in fits of laughter. I think it's largely also due to the quality of the performers, because what I did for this is I trawled the West End for the great character performers who've appeared in West End musicals playing some of the comedic characters. Oh, right. So we've got 16 amazing artists on there, from Jessica Martin, who people may remember from Spitting Image and recently been going down a storm in Spamalot. Oh, yeah. We've got Rachel Eisen, who's currently on Broadway in Mary Poppins. We've got Myra Sands, who's just been in Oliver. Rosemary Ash, the original star of Phantom of the Opera. So really ended up with a fantastic stellar lineup of artists on there that I'm really humbled by.
So some great artists, some great performers, and also a brilliant writer. which is yourself, all put
Oh,
together.
bless you.
That's all right.
Thank you. Sleeve notes by Tim Rice as well, who's been really, really supportive of my work. And as I mentioned, Chess was the show that he wrote with the boys from ABBA that got me into musicals. And so to have him write such nice remarks about the recording on the sleeve is truly humbling.
Putting it all together makes this worth a listen to, something which is different, something which you can keep forever sort of thing. And you can get this online now, I believe, can't you?
Yes, absolutely. It's available in CD format from dresscircle.com. But Weird and Wonderful, as well as being available on CD from dresscircle.com, is also available on iTunes and on all major digital platforms. So just go to iTunes or your digital platform of choice and type in Weird and Wonderful, and this collection of songs celebrating weirdos and weirdness will come up.
That's excellent. And you also have some other compilations available as well, which I guess are totally different to this one.
Yes, I mean, not totally different, but certainly they have my fingerprint on them.
Yeah.
But they have somewhat different styles. I mean, for example, the other compilation album of my work that's out is called Act One, and that's a collection of songs from my musicals, which just as Weird and Wonderful contains a lot of the great character performers from the West End. Act One has the ballads, the more serious songs, be they the anthems, be they the rock numbers, be they the dramatic pieces. And for those, we got a similarly stellar, I have to say, cast, really made up of the serious West End performers as opposed to those who play comedic roles. So for that, we had 26 artists ranging from Ramin Karimloo, who everyone will know through The Phantom of the Opera and Love Never Dies, Summer Strallen, who's now in Top Hat, Lara Pulver, who's done both musicals and all kinds of television shows. So yes, Act One, and in fact, I've been fortunate enough to have songs of mine, individual songs of mine, crop up on all kinds of people's albums, the comedic stuff on Kit and the Widows recordings, and some of the more serious stuff on all kinds of musical theatre artists' recordings. So, yeah, if you search dresscircle.com or iTunes for long enough, you'll probably find quite a lot of my work on there.
That's excellent. Well, Alexander, keep doing what you love. It's obviously
thank
working.
you.
That's all right. It's obviously working for you. And I wish you all the very best in this new compilation and also your future work as well. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on. Cheers.
I couldn't stand the telephone. Felt I'd manage without one absolutely fine. The most loathsome appliance I'd ever known. And so I decided that I'd cancel my line. So I rang my telephone company, and here's what a helpful voice said to me. Press 1 for the services we provide. Press 2 to have your statement clarified. If you're changing address, press 3. Press 4 for an accessory. Press 5 if you're calling about a repair. Press 6 to be put through to customer care. Press 7 for a real voice. Press 8 for your nearest store. 9 if you've called before, or hold for a further choice. Press 1 to ask about a delivery. Press 2 if your bill's made you quivery. Press 3 for a fault to report. Press 4 for technical support. Press 5 for repairs we've not completed. 6 if you'd like this choice repeated. 7 to update our file. Press 8 for a new line, or for business sales press 9, or we'll keep you on hold a while. Press 1 for changes we're introducing. 2 for charges that we're reducing. 3 to have calls redirected. Press 4 to have your line inspected. Press 5 if you've had a nuisance call. Press 6 if your phone won't work at all. Press star for offers coming soon. Or for payment advice, press the hash button twice, or hold for some jolly tune. Press 1 for deals you can expect to see. Press 2 to go X directory. Press 3 to make a complaint. Press 4 if your line's too faint. Press 5 to have your number changed or the digits of your present number rearranged. Press 6 for a user guide. If you wish to make a claim, type your mother's maiden name or hold if you can't decide. You're 5th in the queue, you're 4th in the queue, you're 3rd in the queue, you're 2nd in the queue, you're 1st in the queue, you're 2nd in the queue, you're 1st in the queue, you're there. Press 1 for an order not received. Press 2 for a phone bill not believed. Press 3 and we'll have a look if someone's phone is off the hook. Press 4 to install a fax machine, a modem, loudspeaker or video screen. Press 5 to have the small print read. Press 6 for a handset, 7 for the internet or hold for the line to go.
Please hang up and try again.
Livewire is a Steve Osborne production. For more information, visit www.steveosborne.info.